Okay, so I want to draw your attention to something in the UK, which is one of the few things that gets really under my skin, and it's this business of faith schools. And the reason that I want to draw your attention to it is because presently the government is consulting on it, and there is a document I want to link you to, and you have up until December the 12th to give your opinions on that. Now, what is at stake with regard to this is the business of new faith schools that are being built. At present, of the 20,000 state-funded schools in the United Kingdom, about 7,000 of them, about a third of those schools, are faith schools. Now, at the moment, any new faith schools that are being built have a cap placed on them, which means that if they are oversubscribed, they are only allowed to discriminate on the grounds of faith for 50% of those pupils that join the school. What the government wants to do is to scrap that cap. Now, the reason that the government wants to do that, the government is quite clear about this, that it regards faith schools as generally providing a good quality of schooling, and it regards that there is an under provision of a good quality of schooling, and it sees this as a mechanism, a cheap mechanism to do it. Why is it a cheap mechanism? Well, it's marginally cheaper. You do get the organisation to build the school on your behalf, that is true, but once it comes down to running costs, the state still funds 100% of the day-to-day costs of the school and 90% of the ongoing capital costs of the school. So once the school is built, you're not really getting a great amount of bang for your buck there. Does it solve the problem of good school places? Well, in some ways it does, but as far as I'm concerned, it solves the problem of good school places in the same way as it would solve the problem of congestion on the M25 motorway by having an additional lane just for Catholics, or the problem of not enough quality beds in the NHS by having NHS-funded hospitals just for Anglicans. Now, if you regard those kind of solutions as acceptable, then you'll probably have no problem with this new proposal by the government. But I find it a bit of an outrage as far as I'm concerned. The government suggests that this is what some Catholics and some Anglicans would like. They would like schools that are just providing places for people of their religion. I'm quite sure that they would. What a marvellous position to be in. You have the choice of this extra school. If they're providing the best education in your area, you can send your child to that school. If they're not providing, you can still send your child to the non-denominational school. This is a choice that is excluded to everybody else, and that is why I find these kinds of schools so abhorrent, and putting the limit back at 100% I regard as doubly abhorrent. Okay, I've said my piece. If you agree with me, if you'd like to comment on this, I will leave you a link in a footnote. Please go take part in this consultation. The more of us that can take part in this consultation, the better. Okay, thank you for watching. Bye for now.